Have you ever felt like the world is moving on without you, leaving you behind in solitude? You reach out, but connections slip away. The silence grows louder. It feels as if Allah is pulling you away from everyone and everything, but why? My dear brothers and sisters, this isolation is not a punishment, it's preparation. Allah isolates those He chooses to refine, protect, and guide them towards something far greater. Today, we'll explore 10 profound reasons why Allah isolates the chosen ones. Reasons filled with wisdom that most people fail to see. But before we begin, pause and reflect. What if the loneliness you feel is Allah calling you closer to Him, away from the distractions of the world? Let's find out why this isolation may be the greatest blessing of your life. Reason number 1. Isolation to protect your heart. Have you noticed how, when you're surrounded by people, your heart can easily get distracted? Caught up in fleeting conversations, worldly comparisons, or even toxic influences. Sometimes Allah removes you, not to punish you, but to protect you. Think of a precious gem. You store it carefully, away from anything that could scratch or dull its shine. That's your heart. Allah sees its potential. He knows that certain people or environments could corrode its purity. Maybe you were surrounded by friends who subtly mocked your faith or encouraged you to compromise your values. Then suddenly they drift away. Wasn't this Allah saving you? Remember, so do not weaken and do not grieve, and you will be superior if you are true believers. Quran 3:139. The loneliness you feel is actually a space for Allah to fill with His love, His guidance, and His peace. Reason number 2. Isolation to refine your character. Have you ever noticed that when you focus on self-improvement, distractions seem to disappear? It's as if Allah is removing unnecessary noise, people who don't align with your path. Why? Because solitude forces you to confront who you really are. In the stillness, you start to see the habits you need to change, the weaknesses you've been avoiding. The Prophet Muhammad withdrew to the cave of Hira before receiving revelation. His solitude wasn't just physical, it was a spiritual purification. Maybe your moments of isolation are Allah preparing you for something greater. Reason number 3. Isolation strengthens your relationship with Allah. When Allah isolates you, it's His way of drawing you closer. Think about it. When life is easy, we lean on people, friends, family, material comforts. But when those things disappear, you realize Allah was there all along. Maybe you've prayed before, but have you ever prayed with your whole heart, tears flowing, because you had no one else to turn to? That's what isolation does. It removes all distractions so you can fully rely on Allah. This isn't about cutting yourself off from the Ummah. Islam is about unity. But before you strengthen others, you must strengthen yourself. And sometimes that requires stepping away to reconnect with Allah first. Reason number 4. Isolation is a training ground. Every time you're about to grow, something or someone is removed from your life. Maybe it was a friendship you thought was unbreakable, or a support system you depended on. Then suddenly it's gone. Why? Because isolation isn't rejection, it's refinement. Allah removes distractions to sharpen your focus. Think about Prophet Yusuf a.s. thrown into a well, imprisoned unjustly, completely alone. But that isolation wasn't abandonment, it was preparation. And when he emerged, he wasn't just a man. He was a leader. Maybe your struggles are your training ground too. Reason number 5. Allah's plan requires patience. You feel like life is on pause. Everyone else is moving forward while you feel stuck. But listen carefully. Allah's delay is not His denial. Sometimes He places you in isolation because He's preparing something greater for you. Think of Prophet Musa a.s. He spent years away from Egypt, tending sheep. It seemed like a step backward, but in reality, it was his preparation for leadership. What if your waiting period is where Allah is working the most in your life? Reason number 6. Isolation refines your intentions. The world is noisy. People's opinions cloud your heart. You start seeking approval without even realizing it. But when Allah pulls you into solitude, you're left with a single question: who am I doing this for? Take Prophet Ibrahim a.s. isolated from his people because of his belief in one true God. His solitude purified his faith, and he became the father of nations. Ask yourself, if no one was watching, would I still pray with the same dedication? Reason number 7. Isolation prepares you for your unique role. Allah is shaping you for a mission only you can fulfill. Look at Prophet Yusuf a.s., betrayed, enslaved, imprisoned. But every moment of solitude prepared him to rise as a leader. Maybe you feel like no one understands your journey, but that's because your mission is unique. Allah isn't isolating you to break you, He's isolating you to prepare you. Reason number 8. Isolation breaks your dependence on the dunya. We get attached to people, success, comfort. But Allah reminds us, know that the life of this world is only play and amusement, pomp and mutual boasting. Quran 57:20. He isolates you to detach your heart from the dunya and attach it to Him. Reason number 9. Isolation helps you hear Allah's guidance. The world is full of distractions, constant noise, constant opinions. But in solitude, you finally hear Allah's whispers to your heart. How many times has clarity come to you in your loneliest moments? Reason number 10. Isolation is a sign of being chosen. Allah isolates those He intends to raise. If you feel alone, maybe it's because He is preparing you for a purpose greater than you can imagine. So trust the process. Embrace the silence. Because one day you'll look back and realize, this isolation wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And be patient, for indeed, Allah does not allow the reward of those who do good to be lost. Quran 11:115. Maybe this solitude is your greatest blessing. Are you ready to embrace it?